ran right into the side of the saloon. Well, if Jeffro can't do it, neither should you. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
WLESPN. We've got all your sports.
We're live and local.
If you wake up early enough.
You're so bad, honey.
Tune us in, as long as you're not under a bridge.
Or under any power line.
Ain't it awful?
South Florida's choice for sports talk. OnSideRadio.com.
Hey, what's up? It's Toast. May is here, which means hurricane season right around the corner. You need to get PGT custom windows and doors installed in your house so that you're fully protected when we get a big storm coming on through. For those windows, only one place to call. My buddies at B&T Windows and Doors. They've been doing it in South Florida for decades, and they will set you up with the best in the business. PGT Custom Windows and Doors. 954-233-0126. That's 954-233-0126 for B&T Windows and Doors.
Let's raise a cup to the first among us who put themselves last. To the risk takers, the mask makers, the heroes on the front line and online. To the ones keeping shelves full and keeping us hopeful. To those who don't stop and those making all the stops. To the ones who pick up, suit up, and never let us down. From all of us at Duncan to all the heroes keeping everyone running, we thank you.
OnSideRadio.com knows gamers need a home.
Can you dig it?
That's why for the next 60 seconds,
Can you count, suckers?
here's your OnSide Radio E-Report with Toast.
Marshmallow fans and Fortnite players can rejoice as the Marshmallow Fortnite skin is back in the item shop in a brand new bundle. The bundle costs 2,300 V-Bucks, about $20 in real money, and it will include the following: a Marshmallow skin, the Marsh Walk emote, the Mellow Mallets harvesting tool, and the Mellow Rider glider. This is not Marshmallow's first collaboration with Fortnite, as the DJ and producer has performed one of its biggest and first in-game live concerts in 2019. Enjoy your marshmallow. Happy gaming.
Stay in touch in the world of gaming with the OnSide Radio E-Report.
The viewpoints, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of OnSide Radio ownership, management, sponsors, websites, or Inter Miami Marketing, LLC.
It's time for Kai's Corner on OnSideRadio.com. To talk to Kai, dial 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. To reach out on the text line, it's 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm on your home for sports talk, OnSideRadio.com.
Good morning! Here at beautiful Dry Pink Stadium, I am that man, Kai Chen Chisholm. Joining me, as always, the producer of all producers. In order to be the man, you got to beat the man himself, Mr. Sean Stanley.
How you doing, Kai Chen Chisholm?
I'm doing fantastic. You know, I'm legitimately doing very well today. It's a good morning. Got some stuff potentially gonna happen. So excited for that. And, you know, just in general, it's a good morning. It's a Thursday here. Had a great day yesterday. Had some Moe's, which was awesome. It was fantastic. Tasted fantastic, as it always does, because, you know, Moe's is just leaps and bounds ahead of Chipotle and all these other places. So it was fun and great, and had a good time. Had a day off yesterday, so I'm very energized and really ready to go. And I'm feeling good. Feeling absolutely good, like I should. And it's been a great week thus far, specifically because there was seemingly nothing to talk about for quite some time, and then everyone in the sports world decided to have some news break yesterday. Of course, during the show, you know, Brad Stevens and Danny Ainge, they swapped spots, you know, Ainge retiring, Brad Stevens going into the front office, and then Coach K, Mike Krzyzewski, decides that he is going to retire after the season that is upcoming. Yeah, the upcoming season. I don't understand why brain wasn't working there. But Coach K is going to sign off and say sayonara after this upcoming season. He will be gone. And, you know, I don't really know. I don't know how to feel about it. I wanted to touch on it today, and I think it's a perfect transition in how Toast is able to end his coming into mine. Is I like Coach K a lot, and I know Sean. We were talking about it though once you, as mentioned by both yourself and Toast during that segment. Once you go and you look at the ratio of Final Fours into what he was actually able to accomplish, then things look very great. And, had a couple different things, led 3 different Olympic teams to gold medals, which, how could you not? The U.S. has the best basketball teams in the world. You led them to 2 FIBA World Championships in 2010 and 2014, a FIBA Americas Championship in 2007, 2 more Olympic Games in Los Angeles and Barcelona. And, it is what it is, and a FIBA Americas Championship in Portland. I wonder if that was as a player. No, assistant coach. That's why I was. He was an assistant coach then and was a head coach for all the others. But, hey, it's cool. Mike Krzyzewski was a great coach. He had a hell of a lot of honors that he had. Of course, 5-time NCAA championship winner in 1991, 1992, 2001, 2010, 2015. It's crazy actually to think how separated those are. It's 91, 92, and then 2001 9 years later, then 2010 9 years later, and then 5 years after that, winning in 2015. What was your kind of opening, Sean, to what Mike Krzyzewski was in the Duke Blue Devils? Because as a I guess younger adult than a lot of other people who have seen Coach K, my big thing was the I Hate Christian Laettner ESPN 30 for 30 documentary that they did, because from there I learned obviously about Christian Laettner, but I learned about Coach K and kind of the upbringing of him into being kind of the coach of Duke. And that's when I really learned, I guess, the hatred that so many people have for Duke. I didn't know at the time as a kid how huge the hatred for Coach K was. Do you think it's just because it's the Duke Blue Devils and that's the reason why everybody just hated Coach K and hated Duke in general?
Well, they became the blue bloods of college basketball, right? There's Duke, North Carolina, and maybe Kentucky you can kind of throw in there now. Those were kind of the teams. It's more Duke and North Carolina. And, again, with Coach K, when I was looking at it, I was like, oh, only 5 championships. I thought he had a lot more, but then I took into account that 12 Final Fours and he won 5 championships. That's a pretty good, look at his career. And, again, when you look at it, to me, college basketball is probably one of the toughest tournaments to win.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
When you look at how everything plays out, and again, with what he did, I don't know why the hatred, honestly. Again, a lot of people don't like winners.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, Duke was a winning team. Lately, a lot has come out. But again, the one and done, there's teams that you can go there, get 1 year of college, move on to the NBA. I think that's kind of hurt Coach K when you look back at the teams he had, because a lot of guys stayed there. And by the time, they were 3-year starters, then you started seeing how they developed.
And now it's like you said, it's that one and done. They don't really go back, and that's it. You see the player, you have interaction with them for 1 season. All right, just peace out, and then that's it.
Yeah, and I think he's just probably done with dealing with. And again, I don't know. I've only seen what you see on TV and everything. I'm not sure how his coaching style is. Maybe he can't relate to today's today's players that are coming up. He's felt that it's time to ride into the sunset.
You think so? You think he can't relate to the younger guys?
I'm not going to say relate to the younger guys, but when you look at what he does when, again, with USA Basketball and all that, you're playing with a lot different older, mature personalities than what you're getting. Again, one and done. And a lot of guys, one and done, will go to your Dukes, will go to your Kentuckys, go to your North Carolinas, play the 1 year and go, knowing that they're probably NBA ready, but they have to go there for 1 year. So are you going to be listening to your coach all the time if you've been told you're NBA ready and now this guy's telling me I can't play?
Yeah. And for me, again, like I said, the biggest introduction for me into Duke basketball, and I think the biggest thing for everyone is when you look at Coach K, there are certain things I think that bother me a little bit with Duke and then just in general. But I think you look at Coach K and you look at what he's done, and I mean, you look at the players that he kind of has had and gone through, and I mean, just so many players from Duke that have gone into the NBA and been stars. So many who are upcoming, going to be stars most likely. You have to think that once Coach K is gone, that the recruiting definitely takes a hit. And I know Toast was talking about who's going to take over and guys that they could have had, previously, and maybe it's good for them that they weren't able to have them. I have to wonder if maybe the succession plan right now is not kind of the one that they have wanting to be set in stone and not the one that they really are so keen on yet. Because you have to think that, yeah, he's thinking about this. Danny Ainge, of course, that situation, you have to be thinking about it. I don't think you just wake up one day and you go, you know what? I'm going to retire. Like, I don't think that is what's going to happen. However, I think that you have this plan in place. I wonder if Duke really had kind of that situation where they're sitting there like, you know what? We know that we are going to be able to be in a position where Coach K goes and we have the perfect succession plan, and we're going to be good there with John Schneider. I don't know. I don't think Toast mentioned it, and I agree with it 100%. And I think it goes with all coaching staffs that you're going to see, all great coaches. I will never want to fill the holes of Mike Krzyzewski. I don't want to fill the holes of Bill Belichick. I don't want to fill the holes. Hell, we've been still trying to fill the holes of Don Shula since he left. I don't want to be the one to fill the holes of Greg Popovich. Definitely not off the bat. I mean, every single time that you have this great coach, I don't think it matters what the sport is. I think every time that you have some great coach, to fill that role is extremely difficult. And to bring to that club or that team the environment and the aspect of constant winning, it's hard, especially if you're not hiring from within or you're not hiring someone that understands everything. You can go back, I think, and look at so many teams here in this day and age that we have where, and I think I relate mostly to soccer with it because there's a lot of soccer teams where a great coach leaves. I mean, the perfect example, Sir Alex Ferguson documentary just came out on Paramount Plus. It's fantastic. If you haven't watched it yet, I encourage you to do it if you have Paramount Plus. I think it's a great documentary. It goes throughout his career. I think the way that they structured it, fantastic. Like, I absolutely love it. Manchester United have not been able to fill the holes of Sir Alexander Ferguson since he left. Since he retired from coaching the sport, they have not been able to fill his holes at all. They just can't. I think when you look at it, the expectations of having what is already set in stone, having what you think of a program, having what you think of just a coach in general, a manager in general, it's impossible to fill that hole.
But also, I think a lot of times when you come in, you want to put your fingerprint, your footprint on the team. So you end up making some changes, and then sometimes you could possibly lose the team as well because now it's like, oh, this guy's going to come in and start doing all these changes when everything else was working fine.
For me, I find it crazy. Like, I wouldn't want to be that person. No shot to fill up that, like, especially because you said you're going to want to bring in your own stuff. You're going to want to bring in, like, the way that you want to do things rather than the way that everyone else wants to do things or how things are done. And that happens with everyone. Everywhere where you're at, there's something that you have an issue with that even if things are going fantastic, you have an issue with it. And you're going to want to go out there and have your own plan in place. It'll just be interesting because I don't think you'll ever see Duke basketball get to the heights that it was before.
I mean, again, though, when you look at the way college recruiting has changed, it wasn't before. Again, if you wanted to play football, there were certain schools you wanted to go to. If you wanted to play basketball, there were certain schools you wanted to go to. All that has changed now. Heck, now you can go straight to the NBA if you're good enough. You can
make
go right to
$100,000,
right to the G League or what? Yeah, G League now still, right?
Yeah,
you can go right to the G League and play for their development team. You know, so again, I just think that it's also recruiting you're not only recruiting now against other teams, you're also recruiting the big name players, guys that can make a difference, that can go to the NBA right away. You have to recruit against whether they leave to go get money to support their family.
And they're legally getting that money. Imagine you're most likely, that's the under the table wink wink money that you're giving to some of these guys to go out there and not, go play for another team, go play for another organization. And on top of that, I think another big thing, social media. I mean, with social media, we have it's insane to think about, but it's something. There's this commercial, and I reference it because I watch the show a lot. There's a commercial that the Pat McAfee show runs on their show, and in it, it's Pat introducing the New Orleans Pelicans, and the way that he says Zion Williams intros, he said, "This dude has been dunking on little white kids since high school," and you know who Zion is. Hell, you knew who Lamar Jackson was from social media. Lamar Jackson's most famous video that probably ever exists of him was him in high school here in Miami, where he was running towards the end zone, stops and jukes out a defender, walks in with his hands up, and scores a touchdown. And you knew immediately, that's Lamar Jackson. I know who this kid is now. He gets into college. Oh, I know this kid. I remember this kid. You knew who Zion was when he was in 9th grade. You knew who LaMelo Ball was before he was even in high school. Like, these are things that you looked at and you were like, I knew who this kid was because of social media, because of the pushes. So if you're good enough to get on there, it doesn't even matter anymore. There's the kid that's not even in high school yet, that just got they're calling him the next, I can't remember what it is. There's another kid with blonde hair that the video just got released to him throwing the football while he's on the run. He's not even in high school yet. This kid's going to be getting touted on social media for everything he does in high school because of the fact that it's gone viral. And they're going to know who he is.
I think he's already a commit to Ohio State.
Yeah,
yeah. Something like that.
Like, that's insane to think about. That's social media, I think, takes over as well. So I think that does play a part into it. Onside Radio understands gaming is a big part of the sports landscape. That's why every day we keep you updated with some of the latest gaming news with Onside Radio's E-Minute, hosted by Toast, myself, and Michael Christian. If you miss it, it's podcasted daily. Search Onside Radio on most platforms. Subscribe, rate, and review OnsideRadio.com, the station gamers call home.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
If you're looking for a change from the everyday restaurant, then you need to get to Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach. Brats, Wiener Schnitzel, homemade potato pancakes, pretzels with mustard, and lots of German beer. And with daily specials, there is something for everyone. If you're up for a challenge, you should take their famous boot tour. Finish 30 boots of different varieties of German beer, and you'll receive half price on their beer for life. And you'll get to take home your own boot and Checkers Old Munchin t-shirt. They also have outdoor seating available in their new beer garden with live music, as well as carry-out, curbside pickup, and delivery. So, for the finest German food and beer, get over to 2209 East Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano Beach. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Checkers Old Munchin Restaurant, or call them for reservations at 954-785-7565. That's 954-785-7565. We'll see you at Zagat-rated Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Fight fans, July 16th, it's another bare-knuckle battle as BYB Extreme showcases another fight card at Hard Rock Hollywood. As we get ready for BYB 6, let's find out more about the fighters, like Christine Knuckles Stanley. The lady from Lake Bay, Washington loves to put people to sleep and makes it a hobby to enjoy her sleep. Christine stands 5'5" and 135 pounds and sports an undefeated mark of 2-0. The painter by day, born in Everett, Washington, is ready for the Trigon Challenge. The Trigon, the smallest and most confrontational ring in combat sports. Catch the power of Christine Knuckles Stanley at BYB6, live at Hard Rock Hollywood, July 16th. Watch it on stonefaces.tv. Don't miss BYB6 at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood.
When protecting your family is your priority, there's nothing more important than the roof above the people you love. At Onside Radio, we recommend Chase Roofing and Contracting. At chaseroofing.com, they care about the customer. Chase Roofing provides reliable roof installation and repair without the destruction to our environment. Chase Roofing is powered by Tamara, who is owner and operated for 18 years. Chaseroofing.com is Google top rated and a AAA standing with the Better Business Bureau. Open 24/7. Call them today. Trust chaseroofing.com to fortify and protect what's most important to you, your family.
This Inter Miami CF Minute is brought to you by Stout Bar and Grill in Oakland Park. With over 40 TVs, Stout is the home for soccer around the world and a great place to watch Inter Miami CF. Stout features Clonakilty Whiskies, the world's best Irish whiskey.
Inter Miami and the MLS are currently in a 3-week international break and is set to return on June 19th. Inter Miami will take on DC United yet again, but during this break, some players are being called up, like Jovan Jones, to the Trinidad national team, and some players are also taking a rest. As it stands right now, Miami is currently 2-2-4 in the Eastern Conference. That gives them 8 points, and it puts them on 11th place in the East, while last year they were 1-1-6 at this time, so you have seen a slight improvement despite the terrible performances. Let's see if they can pick it up after the break comes back.
Keep up with the latest on La Rosa Negra by subscribing on most platforms. Search Onside Radio. Let's get back to Kai's Corner. You can send Kai a text at 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm.
Oh, man. God. Sean is by far one of the funniest people in this world. Sean, like, you make me laugh, man. Every single day. Every single day. I swear, I crack up more here than I do anywhere else. Anywhere else at all. I don't think I've ever laughed this much. But here we are. Here we go. So, finally, the time has come in which, for at least the next few months, we no longer have to listen to New York Knicks fans. The New York Knicks are out of the playoffs at the hands of the man who looks very interesting, Trae Young. Trae Young goes ahead. He hits a dagger of a 3 there. He goes ahead and he ends the Knicks season. And here we go. It is a very, very fun time to watch and stay ahead and to love everything going on. But look, we have some great matchups that are coming up. Tonight, can the Phoenix Suns eliminate, as Sean called them, the bubble fraud champions in the Los Angeles Lakers and LeBron James? Can the Denver Nuggets put the nail in the coffin to the Trailblazers after that 2-overtime amazing game that we were able to see just a few nights ago? Can they end the Trailblazers tonight? And then tomorrow, things get real interesting. Can the Mavericks and Luka Doncic, who put 42 points up last night, end Kawhi Leonard and the frauds that are the Los Angeles Clippers, end the team that thinks that they want to be independent but still shares a stadium with the team that overshadows them even if they lose in the first round, who won an NBA championship last season when they were supposed to? Can Luka Doncic do it? God, I hope so. Can the Suns eliminate the Lakers today? Oh, man, I will be looking forward to every second of it. And then just in general, I mean, today's basketball should be fantastic. You got the Nuggets and the Trailblazers. After that game the other night, oh my God, that game on Tuesday, hopefully this doesn't disappoint. And then the Suns, they win by 30. LeBron walking off the court with 5 minutes left. Can they go ahead and take it to the Lakers? Say, you know what? No. This isn't going to be the easy 2-7 matchup you thought you were going to get. We are going to take it to you as the Phoenix Suns, and we're going to go ahead and win this game. Devin Booker dropping 30 the other night. Mikal Bridges dropping 13. 16 out of Cameron Payne. DeAndre Ayton he played 27 minutes. Didn't do much. He's good defensively, but didn't do a lot offensively. Hell, Chris Paul had 9 points, and Chris Paul has arguably been an MVP candidate all season. This Suns team, man, give credit. I give credit where credit is due to Chris Paul and this Suns team, and give credit, hell, to James Jones. I'm pretty sure that James Jones, if I'm not mistaken, is the executive there with the Suns. Let me make sure that I correct myself here. Yeah, general manager for the Suns. Give a hell of a lot of credit to James Jones. Like, this team. Oh, man, I hope they win. Monty Williams, James Jones, Devin Booker, Jay Crowder, Mikal Bridges, DeAndre Ayton, Cameron Payne scoring 16. Hell, you even had Frank Kaminsky going in for plays. Heat fans, you remember Frank Kaminsky? Even he was going and playing. I can't wait. I'm so excited. Like, this is the type of basketball that I'm so excited to watch. Like, I cannot wait to see the Suns play tonight. Well, I hope that they win. If not, Saturday night, oh man, that's going to be crazy. Game 7. Ooh, that'll be crazy. But man, do I hope Phoenix wins. And then the Mavericks playing at home tomorrow at 9 p.m. A good way to end off your weekend against the Clippers after Luka Doncic dropped 42. Oh man, these games have been great. And I think it takes away, look, we've all been very upset and I'm guessing very pissed off with what's been happening with the Miami Heat all season. Then they get swept. The only team in the first round to get swept, of course, had to be your Miami Heat. But now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the time where we get to have entertaining basketball. This is the time in the season in which we can enjoy what's happening on the court because we don't have to care about the results. We can just watch great basketball. The Jazz game last night was great. The Hawks game, they destroyed the Knicks. Don't have to hear about the Knicks again. The Sixers took down the Wizards. Bradley Beal comes out today and says, I don't know where my future is. Stirring the pot, Bradley? Are you trying to say that you didn't want to say that you wanted to be out of Washington all year, but now you want to be out? It's a little interesting if you know what I'm saying. We got a lot of storylines coming up. We got a lot of great even basketball games coming up. And I'm just so excited. I'm so excited. From that, I also want to take a second out of here and to... I also want to take a second out of here with the back end of this segment to talk about our roundtable for today, just so we can get that kind of out of the way. So, Thursday's roundtable today is how should the NHL handle the, quote, disgusting, end quote, hit by the Jets' Mark Sheffield? I don't know how to say that name. On the Canadiens' Jake Evans, who had to be taken off the ice on a stretcher after that empty net goal on Wednesday night. Well, after watching the hit a couple times, after seeing the life being taken out of Jake Evans, like literally seeing the life being taken from within him as he hit the ice. He'll get suspended. He should be suspended, I think, just because, especially in the outrage pouring on from what's been happening, I think he should definitely get suspended. But I don't know if I sit in the position of saying that it was disgusting. And I was having the conversation with Sean in one of the breaks there before we got on the air, because when I read it, I was like, okay, it was probably really bad. And then watching it, like, it looked really disgusting. And then as I started watching it frame by frame by frame by frame, I was just kind of like, I don't even really know if I consider this extremely disgusting. I think it was the game was over. The hit was, I think, absolutely unnecessary. Absolutely unnecessary. But I don't know if I'm sitting there saying, yeah, that was the worst possible thing that could have happened. Like, I think that situation, I hope that Jake Evans is okay, because that was a brutal hit. Whether you want to admit it or not, like, that was a brutal hit. Do I think it was absolutely flat out disgusting? I don't think that it was absolutely flat out disgusting, but I definitely think that the hit was unnecessary, and I do think that Mark will get, I don't want to say his Shafele, that he'll get suspended, because you can't, if you don't suspend him, you're just leaving out something. We saw it during the Tampa Bay Lightning series, right? Here with our Florida Panthers. Some things you just can't let slide. Some things have to be dealt with at the beginning so they don't happen again. And that's what we saw. Game 1, get suspended. I think a 1-game suspension will do good. Make sure this doesn't get chippy. Make sure you don't get, again, the series between the Panthers and the Lightning was very chippy. I don't think you want that again if you are the NHL, or maybe get it even worse, since now you have someone being taken off in a stretcher. But I think he will get suspended. I think that he should get suspended, but I don't think it was flat out disgusting. I just think it was unnecessary. That's my personal point of view, and that is all I have to say on the roundtable segment for this beautiful Thursday, June 3rd, 2021. You know, on a quick statement before I take it off to break here, I've been completely forgetting that we are even into, like, the summertime in June. I feel like every day has been so much different. You know, when you're in school, and, you know, me knowing, like, I graduated, 6 months ago. When you're in school, I think that things are a lot different, because you're like, oh, wow, well, you know, I am in this situation where I got to make sure I'm on this. And it's like, oh, well, now I'm on summer break, and then now I come back. Things have been a lot different, because I don't think I can keep track with everything. Like, it's just like, oh, this day is this day. Oh, okay, cool. So that happened. All right. But anyways, as we round out here, we're going to talk with Alfredo Arteaga coming up in the next segment. We'll talk to him about all things Miami Heat, or excuse me, not Miami Heat. We will talk with some Miami Heat, because Alf was watching the Heat a lot during that. So we'll talk to him about the Miami Heat. We'll talk to him about the Dolphins. Who does he think the Dolphins will need to get rid of? Who does he think that the Dolphins should bring on to the team? We'll discuss all that and more with Alf next. Start your morning every day at 8 a.m. with Toasted Sports. Toast covers all the local sports stories while providing some great Miami Hurricanes insight. Download, subscribe, rate, and view the podcast, Toasted Sports, 8 to 10 a.m., only at OnsideRadio.com.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
When you want a perfectly straight smile without braces, you can count on MoodieAssDental.com. A stunning smile is within reach. Learn more about Invisalign. Find out why so many trust the Moody Ass family. Dr. Moody Ass is an inventor and has several patents on innovative surgical instruments that are used around the world. Experience a family environment and trust on a worldwide level. From implants to crowns to a beautiful Invisalign smile. Call 305-821-0231. That's 305-821-0231. Or go to the website at MoodyHouseDental.com.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Miami Lakes location at 15462 Northwest 77th Court, located in the Ryan Oaks Plaza. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available, from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes. Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
WLESPN. We've got all your sports.
We're live and local.
If you wake up early enough.
You're so bad, honey.
Tune us in. As long as you're not under a bridge.
Or under any power line.
Ain't it awful?
South Florida's choice for sports talk. OnSideRadio.com.
Hey, it's Toast, and when I got PGT custom windows and doors installed at my house last year from B&T Windows and Doors, I knew that I was protecting my house when it came to hurricanes, but I was also investing in my house. My value went up. My home insurance cost went down. Yeah, I can now get more for my house when I sell it because I have PGT custom windows and doors installed courtesy of my buddies at B&T Windows and Doors. Just another reason why you should upgrade your house today. Give them a call, 954-233-0126. That's 954-233-0126, B&T Windows and Doors.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
When you're looking to add that extra style and protection for your home or business, visit A Shade Above Window Fashions in Davie or Sunrise, where plantation shutters are a major part of our business, and they look great in any home. We have them in white, stained colors, and wood tones. We can even motorize your shutters like the one in the OnSideRadio.com studio. A Shade Above Window Fashions, 954-434-4774. That's 954-434-4774. Love the space you live in. A Shade Above Window Fashions.
Keeping you informed in the world of sports. With an OnSideRadio.com sports update.
The Toronto Blue Jays used a 3-run ninth inning to come back and beat the Miami Heat 6-5 last night. Yimi Garcia got the loss. The Fish head to Pittsburgh for a 4-game series. The Pirates, Elisa Hernandez, will get the start tonight. The Philadelphia 76ers, they move on to the second round of the playoffs with a 129-112 victory over the Wizards. Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks took a bow and eliminated the New York Knicks with a 103-89 win. The Utah Jazz took care of the Grizzlies 126-110. And they move on to the next round. The Dallas Mavericks, they took a 3-2 lead in their series with the Los Angeles Clippers after a 105-100 win last night. Tonight, the Nuggets look to close out the Trailblazers, tip off at 8. 10:30, the Phoenix Suns look to eliminate the defending NBA champion LA Lakers. Also yesterday, Duke University announced Coach K will retire after 41 seasons at the end of the 2021-22 season. He did reach 12 Final Fours with 5 championships. You're listening to the only locally owned South Florida sports talk station. This is OnSideRadio.com.
Let's get back to Kai's Corner. You can send Kai a text at 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm.
All right. Ready to bring on Alfredo Arteaga. I believe it's right in saying the godfather of 3 yards per carry. Alf, how's it going, man?
Great. It's actually now the thick of the off season, so we're in hiatus, but we'll be back soon.
Yeah, I mean, we're truly in the thick of the off season, and it really is kind of that situation where a lot of things are happening, but nothing's happening at the same time, where we're trying to figure out what's going to go down. June 1st has come and gone. Of course, anything past now becomes that post June 1st or cut or trade. Who do you expect from the Dolphins to potentially be someone, Alf? Because I think everyone obviously is thinking Jakeem, but is there anyone else that you think could potentially be a guy that isn't on this roster come, let's say, even training camp?
Well, it has to be like a wide receiver, right?
You'd have to
they have way too many of them as of right now. But I just finished doing a yard work last night, and what I get from what they're planning on doing on offense, at least by the personnel that they have and the quarterback they have, they're going to require a lot of speed. And what I mean by a lot of speed is not, in the starting lineup or in the rotation, but enough in depth to keep running the offense the way they want to run it. Because in essence, an 11 personnel team is going to always have a guy running 9 routes, which means if you have speed, you have a better chance of sticking than if you don't. So I would look for maybe a trade we haven't talked about yet. Maybe a Preston Williams finds his way somewhere else in trade. But they have some moves to make, that's for sure.
Preston. I'm interested that you mentioned Preston. You think that they could do without Preston this upcoming season?
Well, I think he's one that has value, and they have a lot on in the wide receiver core. The wide receiver core, for all intents and purposes, is kind of stacked. Like, you got to be happy with what they have.
For
if
once,
they stay
right?
healthy, it's a really good one, right?
How many times have we gone into the offseason going, oh, well, this is going to be a good one, and then immediately, like 2-3 weeks later, someone gets injured, and we're looking around like, oh, God, what are we going to do?
Yeah, last year before the season, we did a few shows on 3 yards per carry, and Simon was kind of prescient on it. Simon Clancy, my partner on 3 yards per carry, he was prescient on this because he said before the season, is it really a good receiver core? And I was like, well, on paper, it looks all right. And he goes, if they take 2 injuries, it's going to be pretty bad. And sure enough, they took more than 2 injuries. They took like 3 or 4 injuries. Yeah. And that wide receiver core was a disaster toward the end of the year.
I mean, looking at it now, you have Devontae, Preston, Albert Wilson coming back. You have Alan Hearns coming back. Then, you're going to get Will Fuller after week 1. Lynn Bowden Jr. coming back. Jalen Waddle, you draft him. Jakeem Grant, he can't catch, but he's there. There's a lot of other people that you have on that. There's a lot now. So you have to think maybe it is Preston. Maybe it is, Devontae. There have been some kind of – I wouldn't say that there's been rumors, but I think a lot of people have kind of wanted – it's always been that thing of either get Devontae off or get Jakeem off. If you get someone like Devontae, then move him away as quickly as possible. If you get someone like Jakeem, move him away as quickly as possible. Why do you think that it is that way with, let's say, Devontae? Because I think we know why it is with Jakeem.
I think with Devontae, it's that that narrative of his, which is completely unfounded. The problem is that he is always nicked up. But Does he miss games? He's missed, we've rehashed this a million times, and he's missed 13 games in 6 years. That's not a huge number. Now, Will Fuller's a different case. Will Fuller's never finished the season until he finished last season, okay? And some would say he finished last season because he had a little help as far as pharmaceuticals. So, yeah, it's all about narrative building, and, Jakeem has kind of earned it with his play, and Devontae Parker has earned it with the perception that he's just not very, very healthy. But this team will keep – well, I think Devontae is a lock to be on the team. But this team will keep a speed guy behind the initial 2, which is Will Fuller and Jalen Waddle. So I would say Robert Foster or Jakeem Grant have a chance to stick because they need depth just to keep running their offense the way they're going to want to run it.
So you think, and we're talking with Alfredo Arteaga from 3 yards per carry, Alf, do you think that with Albert Wilson and Alan Hearns, these are 2 guys, and you heard a lot from kind of rumors here and there with the NFL on how some of these players, and it was coming from guys that have been there before as well, kind of saying that some of these guys that stuck out that last season, and rightfully so. I mean, we got through an NFL season, yeah, and maybe you have that angst if you're an NFL front office person or an owner, however it is, because you're like, oh, we got through it, but no one knew what was going on. So I don't think you can, give hate to anybody that decides to opt out last season. But they mentioned how, some of these guys could probably get cut. Some of these guys could probably get the back end of the road because, we were able to finish the NFL season. You think these 2 guys, and Albert Wilson and Alan Hearns, are guys that are going to stick no matter what?
No, I think Alan Hearns is probably on the way out. I just don't see how he makes the team, although he does do one thing that the team sorely lacks, which is he is a slot receiver. But they drafted 6 overall. So you got to figure, Jalen Waddle is the slot guy And, how many slot guys are you going to keep on the team, really? So I would say Allen Hurns is on the way out. Albert Wilson has a shot to stick because he's one of those speed guys, again. Yeah. And he has versatility. He can play everywhere on the offense. He could do all the things that Jakeem can do and Robert Foster hypothetically can do. And he could be a decent backup to what Jalen Waddle is going to do on this offense. So my only fear about Albert Wilson is that I've seen him in 2 training camps already, and he's not the kind to impress during training camp. He usually starts off slow. He's come in heavy a couple of times to training camp. And then, he's just not a practice player. He's a game day guy. He's the guy that shows up on game day, not necessarily in practice. I don't know how this franchise, how this coaching staff is going to take to that, or how they're going to evaluate that.
So from there, we go into kind of looking around and seeing if maybe there's any other guys that we can get off in free agency right now. The Dolphins have a projected around $8.5 million in cap. However, they still need to sign 4 of their rookies that they drafted, which is going to take up about maybe 6.5 of that, just approximately kind of taking guesses at what we've been able to see from past contracts and stuff like that. So they'll probably have to free up space somewhere. Who knows how that's going to be. But if they're able to free up space, or maybe they get one of these guys on a very, very team-friendly deal, what do you think, or who do you think, the Dolphins might be going after? And then I guess the second part of that is, which would you want them to go after?
Yeah, I think Melvin Ingram is kind of obvious, right? He was in town for 3 days. He worked out with Xavier Howard for a couple of those days, met with the whole coaching staff. It didn't seem like it was even a recruiting trip. It seemed like it was a getting-to-know-you trip, as if, the deal was already done. If they sign Melvin Ingram, we go from, and we're talking about a short amount of time, like inside of 45 days, we go from a team that, and I believe I was on your show, The Extra Yard, where I said, this team desperately needs an edge rusher somehow. They might have to draft one. Well, sure enough, they got one 18th overall. And since then, if you add in Melvin Ingram, you're talking about going from a position of needing a player there to having an excess of players to rush from the outside. So, I think Melvin Ingram makes way too much sense. And he could fulfill a role that this team, can use, which is just a specialist to just come off the edge consistently on third down.
It's funny to think about that Melvin Ingram, it might have the chance to be a Miami Dolphin, right? Considering the last time that he was supposed to get that big payday from the Chargers, you saw a lot of Dolphins fans saying, let's go get Melvin Ingram, let's get Melvin Ingram, let's get Melvin Ingram. He gets that huge payday from the Chargers. Now you could probably get him for a cheap and in a role that would fit him really well. It's kind of weird how things kind of work out the way that hopefully, if it happens, that you would want it to, right?
Yeah, exactly. And, if you look at, all you got to do is just peruse the free agent list. It's stacked with players that are very capable NFL starters, really. So, yeah, they're going to have an opportunity. If it's not Melvin Ingram, who knows? Maybe even Von Miller is available later on in free agency. But, yeah, Melvin Ingram is just such a good fit that, it's a no-brainer. It should just happen.
Okay, and one of the last things, Alf, and I need your help because I feel like I need to be helped, being taken off right now from where I am, because I've seen so many people now mention Duke Johnson. And personally, I have never, ever, ever liked Duke Johnson. I think the only reason why people have was because he was, a UM product. I do not understand the hype with Duke Johnson and wanting to bring him in. I think it's kind of the same thing we've seen with a couple other running backs where they come, they have a few things, and it is what it is. Why do you think that some people are so enamored with bringing Duke Johnson into any team, whether it's the Dolphins or another one?
He makes a play every once in a while, and you see it on the highlight films, and he's a UM guy. So that's why people like him. He does fit this offense perfectly. That's
I was
just
hoping
a
you
fact.
didn't say that.
He does. He really does fit this offense perfectly. Now, I would say, unless they think that they solved all of their 3rd-and-1 issues with Malcolm Brown, I'd like to see a heavier back brought in. So, maybe Le'Veon Bell is a guy, and he all but said, like, hey, bring me down there, Miami, with his tweet about maybe I should go play for a defensive-minded coach.
And the comments on the Instagram post.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe Le'Veon Bell is probably a better fit because he solves more problems than Duke Johnson does. But, yeah, Duke Johnson is popular because his career down here. But he does fit the role that they're looking for in running backs. But in my opinion, I think they have two Duke Johnsons already on the team. I think Savon Ahmed and Myles Gaskin are essentially better than Duke Johnson right now. And, why do you need a third?
Okay, at least I get that part there. At least I get to, keep in right there that Duke Johnson hopefully will not be a Miami Dolphin, because I don't know, I've never been a huge fan. I think it has been that UM stuff that gets me a little bit upset as well, but I've never seen kind of the way that people have talked about him in the way that, this is going to be the guy. So I'm at least I get that part. They already have some guys on the roster. That's cool with me. Alf, thank you so much for coming on, man. I really appreciate it. Of course, you can find him on Twitter at Alf_Artiaga. And, of course, find him on 3 yards per carry. And you find the Twitter for them at 3 yards per carry. That's number 3 and then yards per carry. Have a great rest of your day, Alf.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Every Monday, Heat and NBA fans can catch the best hour of basketball talk when Ethan Skolnick and Ira Winderman host the Palette Rack City Inside the Paint show. Listen to 2 of the most knowledgeable and connected reporters in the business. Get year-round insight every Monday from 10 to 11 a.m. with the Inside the Paint show on the home for hardcore basketball fans worldwide, OnsideRadio.com.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
When you're looking for curtains and blinds to create a space of your own, look no further than Bandalux. Bandalux can tailor your space to your needs. Create the atmosphere and ambiance you desire. We invite you to discover it at Bandalux.com. Explore our new solar control systems, range of sustainable fabrics, and energy-efficient solutions that can improve your well-being and quality of life. Witness Bandalux Beauty. Go to Bandalux.com or follow them on Instagram at Bandalux_official. For a personal experience, A Shade Above Window Fashions in Davie and Sunrise is an official Bandalux partner.
If you're looking for a change from the everyday restaurant, then you need to get to Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach. Brats, Wiener Schnitzel, homemade potato pancakes, pretzels with mustard, and lots of German beer. Take their famous Boot Tour Challenge, and there's now outdoor seating available in their new beer garden with live music. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Checkers Old Munchin Restaurant, or call them for reservations or pickup at 954-785-7565. So get over to 2209 East Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano Beach to Zagat-rated Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction, your custom home builder, additions and home remodeling. Our lives have changed. We're making our homes more of an oasis. Call the right place. Call the right people. Eric at EJD Construction for over 16 years. A-rated member of Angie's List in the Better Business Bureau. 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Inter Miami CF fans, join us at our new home this season for all away games as we broadcast live at Dangerous Minds Brewing Company, 1901 North Federal Highway in Pompano Beach. Join Big O and Alex Dono for the live pregame, halftime, and postgame shows while we watch the games. Enjoy meticulously brewed beer on site, delicious artisanal pizzas, live music, and giveaways. So, the new home for all Inter Miami road games is at Dangerous Minds Brewing Company at the Pompano City Mall, where they'll feature all the Inter Miami games. Follow them on Twitter at Dangerous Minds B and Facebook and Instagram at Dangerous Minds Brewing, and visit them at dangerousmindsbrewing.com.
Every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., listen to Red Card Radio with Austin Robillard, brought to you by Stout Bar and Grill in Oakland Park. With over 40 TVs, Stout is the home for soccer around the world. Stout Bar features Clonakilty Whiskies, the world's best Irish whiskey.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Now that it's springtime, it's only getting hotter here in South Florida. Make sure your AC in your home or business is running smoothly by investing in a preventative maintenance plan from M&S Air Conditioning. And M&S is a Mitsubishi Diamond Elite contractor. When you purchase a new Mitsubishi electric mini split system, you'll get a 12-year warranty. Or install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that captures and destroys biological contaminants to improve air quality. M&S Air Conditioning have been providing prompt, honest, and reliable service for over 30 years. Schedule service or call to get more info on our preventative maintenance plans. Call 954-421-3680 or visit ac-florida.com.
Let's get back to Kai's Corner. You can send Kai a text at 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm.
All right. Getting ready to round out hour number 1 on this beautiful June 3rd, 2021, Thursday's edition of Kai's Corner. It's been a good morning, Sean. It's been a very good morning. I think thus far, everything's been going well, and I'm excited to continue to move on throughout this beautiful day and see what comes upon us. I was talking to Sean in the break because yesterday Germany played in a friendly game against Denmark, and they tied 1-1. Of course, Yusuf Poulsen scores off of just an insane pass, and it's one that you just can't get upset about. But 2 Bundesliga guys scoring. You know, Florian Neuhaus gets a goal early on there in the second half, and then, of course, Yusuf Poulsen gets his goal, and Denmark and Germany draw. I'm not too worried. I mean, you don't have – here's the biggest thing is I think the defense, honestly, I think the defense was not bad. I think that Mats Hummels and the way that him and Niklas Süle partnered up together was good. It was just like the days when they were both partnered at Bayern. I think Niklas Süle played very well considering, like, what was going on between the injuries that he was having. And I think that he did a pretty good job there. So I do want to say a big up to Niklas Süle. I think that he played well. I'm not the biggest fan of Lucas Klostermann. I didn't think that he did. What I wanted to see out of Germany yesterday was, and I think that Denmark played well. Shout out to Pierre-Emil Højbjerg because he used to be a Bayern Munich guy and was kind of casted off and sent away, and he's been killing it at Spurs and now playing for the Denmark national team. So shout out to him, by the way, and Martin Braithwaite. But I think you obviously saw that the team was not at full strength. You saw that there were still some issues that they had, and there's some players that they weren't able to have on them or with them. So it'll be interesting to see. I think that going with a 3 in the back of like Niklas Süle, Mats Hummels, and maybe bringing a guy in like an Antonio Rudiger will be great. I don't like the Lucas Klostermann thing, but of course you'll eventually get, Goretzka and Kroos, and you'll have all your guys there. But I'm excited for the Euros. U21s today, 3 p.m. They continue to go on. So catch South Florida Staple every afternoon as Alex Donno hosts the Man of the Match from 3 to 6 p.m. Donno covers everything from football to the MMA. Tune into one of the most complete sports shows in the country with the Man of the Match with Alex Donno, 3 to 6 p.m. exclusively at
Now that it's springtime, it's only getting hotter here in South Florida. Make sure your AC in your home or business is running smoothly by investing in a preventative maintenance plan from M&S Air Conditioning. And M&S is a Mitsubishi Diamond Elite contractor. When you purchase a new Mitsubishi electric mini split system, you'll get a 12-year warranty. Or install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that captures and destroys biological contaminants to improve air quality. M&S Air Conditioning have been providing prompt, honest, and reliable service for over 30 years. Schedule service or call to get more info on our preventative maintenance plans. Call 954-421-3680 or visit ac-florida.com.
Papa, why can't we telegraph while riding a horse? Son, there ain't no one to blame but Jeffro. He was riding old Betsy the Stallion, tip-tapping away at his telegraph when blam! Ran right into the side of the saloon. Well, if Jeffro can't do it, neither should you. Don't text and drive.
Visit stoptextstoprex.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
On-side radio. No station in South Florida provides more live and local sports talk. Follow us on social media at Onside Radio.
Hey, it's Toast, and no doubt last year hurricane season was one of the craziest we've ever seen. Well, Noah's saying once again, going to be another active season, so you need to call B&T Windows and Doors today and get PGT custom windows and doors installed like I did so that you are fully protected. Listen, there's no better peace of mind than PGT custom windows and doors when you're in the cone of death for a Category 5 storm. Call B&T Windows and Doors today to get set up. 954-233-0126. That's 954-233-0126.
Let's raise a cup to the first among us who put themselves last. To the risk takers, the mask makers, the heroes on the front line and online. To the ones keeping shelves full and keeping us hopeful. To those who don't stop and those making all the stops. To the ones who pick up, suit up, and never let us down. From all of us at Duncan to all the heroes keeping everyone running, we thank you.
OnSideRadio.com knows gamers need a home.
Can you dig it?
That's why for the next 60 seconds,
Can you count, suckers?
here's your Onside Radio E-Report with Toast.
Marshmallow fans and Fortnite players can rejoice as the Marshmallow Fortnite skin is back in the item shop in a brand new bundle. The bundle costs 2,300 V-Bucks, about $20 in real money, and it will include the following: a Marshmallow skin, the Marsh Walk emote, the Mellow Mallets harvesting tool, and the Mellow Rider glider. This is not Marshmallow's first collaboration with Fortnite, as the DJ and producer has performed one of its biggest and first in-game live concerts in 2019. Enjoy your marshmallow. Happy gaming.
Stay in touch in the world of gaming with the Onside Radio E-Report.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of Onside Radio ownership, management, sponsors, website, or Inner Miami Marketing, LLC.
It's time for Kai's Corner on OnSideRadio.com. To talk to Kai, dial 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. To reach out on the text line, it's 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm on your home for sports talk, OnSideRadio.com.
Hour number 2 here at the corner. It's been a great morning. Oh my God, it's been a great morning. I am that man, Kai Chen Chisholm. You can follow me on Twitter as always at Samurai Radio. That's at SAMURAIIRADIO. And joining me, as always, the man, Mr. Sean Stanley. How are you, Sean?
Fantastic. It's been the last hour with you, one more hour to go, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad that I can make your mornings, Bring a little bit of fun into them.
I wouldn't want it any other way.
Aw, that warms my heart, Sean. Well, now we get to talk about something that I think is going to be very interesting. We've had a great day, and before we get into anything else, I want to make sure that we cover our polls for the day. because we got a lot of great stuff that we can go through and talk about. But we're gonna do kind of what we did similar to yesterday, where we are going to talk about the polls throughout the week. And if you are in the YouTube comment section and you do not follow me on Twitter and you want an easy way to do so, look right there. Just dropped a little bit of a link in there for you so that you can go ahead and not only go vote in the polls and make your voice be heard, but also go ahead and follow me so you can get some more of this awesome stuff, aka watch me tweet about soccer 24/7 and then occasionally tweet about everything else, and then the show every morning and every day. So that's really all it is. It's show, soccer, random, and wash, rinse, repeat every single day. So the first poll that we started off with this week was, which Heat youngster do you keep no matter what? Now, you can still vote on this until about 12:30, 12:40 tomorrow. Is it Kendrick Nunn, Duncan Robinson, or Tyler Hero? Well, it's Duncan Robinson that has been voted pretty much. I don't think it's going to change at all come the end of tomorrow's show. Then, back-to-back about Jakeem Grant. With June 1st deadline finally here, do you expect Jakeem Grant to be cut? Yes, at 63.3%, leading the way there. And then, will Jakeem Grant be a Miami Dolphins player by the start of the preseason? Because when we talked to Omar, he had mentioned, well, I think it would be more like he's traded. I don't think he's going to get cut. So then the next day, all right, let's do it this way. Do you expect him to be on the roster? No, at 57.7%, that's leading the way. The Lakers are, and we'll find out tonight, bubble frauds, or are they just tired like all the bubble teams? Bubble frauds leading the way. Of course, it's been like the key term that everyone uses nowadays. And then into today's. Who is your first choice to spend money on once the Dolphins finish signing their rookies? Melvin Ingram or Malik Hooker? It's not even close. Melvin Ingram leading the way with 76.7% of the vote. And then lastly, do you have faith in Miami Swords to give the fans a title in the next few years? If so, which team? And then I added in there, sorry, Alex Aguirre, I don't know if there's any faith in the Marlins. No, yes, Panthers, yes, Heat, or yes, Dolphins. I don't know how there are so many votes for yes, Heat, when the Heat just showed you that they're behind, in my opinion, the Panthers. But the Heat at 33.3 and then the Dolphins leading the way at 43.3. Only 16.7% for the Panthers. I'm kind of surprised. I am kind of surprised. I would think that you would have a lot more coming out of the Panthers and you have a lot more to, be able to talk about with them. I'm quite shocked, I have to say. Quite shocked. But those are our polls for the day. And then we want to get into a topic here. It's something that I've been wondering around world football. And it's perfect kind of going in from where we were with speaking of the man himself, Alex Aguirre, as we talk about the Marlins not having faith to win anything here in the next few years. I'm sorry, Alex. But, as he says, it's okay there from the distance. I think that something I want to discuss with world football and kind of how things are going on with club soccer and how things are happening in the world. Right now, Barcelona have signed a few players here for free. They've got them on a free. They've been able to get them without any transfer fees. But Barcelona are reported up to 400 million euros in debt. 400 million euros in debt. Absolutely insane to me that they could be that far. If you want to, see what it is in dollars, that's $485,492,000 in debt, reportedly. The report is that they could be higher than 400 million. They're in between 350 to 400 million. There are so many different reports right now from where Barcelona sit at with their debt crisis. And I think it relates to Barcelona the same way that it relates to a lot of different teams right now in world football. Nobody was expecting a worldwide pandemic. Nobody was expecting to have the world completely shut down for almost a year. No one was expecting any of this. So you go out there and you spend some money. You grab a couple guys. You pay $100 million for Ousmane Dembele. You pay $60 million for, going out there and getting a guy like, Frankie de Jong. You pay this money because you know what? We're gonna get it back. It's okay. We're gonna go out there. We're gonna play good. Maybe we'll win the league. They don't win the league. They finish third. They don't do good at all in the Champions League. I mean, in fact, not only were they embarrassed by Bayern Munich the past year, They were absolutely embarrassed this year by PSG. So you continue to lose out on money. You continue to spend money. And they did it anyways. From what they spent to what they got this past season, they only made 18 million in profit. Because they spent 130. 66 on Miralem Pjanic. Why? 34 on Trincao. 23 on Serginho Dest, who was playing well, then started playing bad. They've spent a ridiculous amount of money in the past few seasons. An absolutely ridiculous amount of money. And they're still in debt, and they're still bringing guys on. They brought in Sergio Aguero and Eric Garcia for free. They're bringing in Emerson Royal for $10 million. They're continuing to push things farther and farther and farther and farther back on what they're going to end up needing to pay. Imagine being $400 million in debt and you still go out there and spend 130, and then you spent 9 now, so you're about what, 140. Really, it's 150 because it's 130.9 and then 9.9. Or 141, sorry. Math. So you continue to go out. Let's look at the season before that, in which they spent $321 million, or euros, but actually it's converted to dollars there for us. Thanks, Transfer Market US. 131 million for Antoine Griezmann. 94 million to Ajax. 28 to Valencia. 22 to Palmas. 19 for Martin Braithwaite. 19 to Real Betis. 4 to a guy that they bought and then sold right back to the same club. A year later, they've been continuing to spend ridiculous amounts of money without having any repercussions. They pushed back the amount of money they owe time in and time out. And now it's time to pay. Now the big bucks need to start coming up because they have a lot of money that they got to pay out. I mean, hell, there right now is a situation happening with Barcelona where they reportedly want to convince Liverpool, who Barcelona owe more money, because Philippe Coutinho won the Champions League, but not with Barcelona. No. He won the Champions League with Bayern Munich on loan and took part in thrashing Barcelona 8-2 in Lisbon. They owe 50 more million euros from that. And they're trying to convince Liverpool to just take Philippe Coutinho. And we don't take him, we don't have to pay it. Just take him. We don't got to pay you anything. Don't worry about it. We've already paid you this amount of money. It's been spending and spending and spending and spending and spending and pushing it back. It's like these new contracts and deals that we're talking about right now. That's been happening with these voidable years, these years that don't even exist coming in with some of these contracts, the post June 1st cuts. You're just taking it and pushing things back. And all right, we'll owe this money another time down the line. We want to free up money right now. It's okay. So instead of doing like the Dolphins are doing right now, you know what? We're cutting these guys outright. We'll pay the bill now. We'll pay the bill now into the next, the end of next season. We'll get it done and out of the way with, so we don't have to owe anything for seasons to come. We're going to get it out of the way now. They're not doing that. They're spending more and more and more money, and they're going to continue to just get into more and more debt. Going back into one of the transfers they had there in 2018, they bought Malcolm, a Brazilian winger from Bordeaux, $45 million. He was gone the next season. $45 million paid outright, gone the next season. There are times in which they're spending money and money and money, and I'm interested to see what's going to happen. Think about this is another one. In 2017, they lost $156 million off of these players that they bought. Philippe Coutinho, who they're still paying off, $148 million. Tack on that $50 million extra because he won the Champions League with Bayern Munich. A little clause there in his contract that if he won the Champions League, didn't say with who, just said if he won the Champions League. Tack on another 50 there. Ousmane Dembele from Barcelona, $148 million. Or excuse me, from Borussia Dortmund, $148 million. Paulinho from Guangzhou Evergrande in the Chinese Super League, $44. Nelson Semedo, $39. They spent $411 million and lost 156 of it. Most of the players they spent this money on don't even have a spot on the team anymore. I find it insane that they're in such a debt crisis they are. And to wrap it up into a nice bow, the thing that becomes shocking now, and the thing that becomes really big for Barcelona is they want to bring Messi on a 2-year deal. They want to try to convince him to stay. And more power to you. If you let him out of his contract, there's no way Messi is a Barcelona player this past season. He was going to go to Man City. Maybe he's the thing that gets the job done for them, and they beat Chelsea in the final. Who knows? But he makes a ridiculous amount of money on his wages, and those are just his wages alone. If you are in this major debt crisis, you're paying Sergio Aguero some good wages for sure. Emerson Royal, you're bringing him back after you sold him to Real Betis. You're bringing him back for $9 million. He's probably making a decent amount, not an insane amount, $10 million transfer fee, not that crazy, but he's going to come in. Eric Garcia, you got on a free, so he's probably making at least a nice, decent amount as well. You're paying a ridiculous amount in wages for a lot of your players. Messi being the top leader there in wage earners. And you spent so much money that you owe close to $450 million. 400 million euros there that you have to pay back. I don't understand what's going to happen with Barcelona, and it'll be interesting to see because they gotta start making up some money, and they gotta find a way to pay this back because at some point you gotta start. The bill comes through, and you gotta start paying. Coming up next, we'll talk with Alex Dono. And speaking of Alex Dono, tonight you can catch him and James Walker from 7 to 9 p.m. as they host Fight Night. It's a show dedicated to combat sports, from UFC to boxing to bare-knuckle brawling. Join Alex and James as they provide combat sports fans the insight and interviews they crave. Tune in every night. Tune in every Thursday night from 7 to 9 p.m. for Fight Night with Alex Dono and James Walker. Search and subscribe to the podcast by searching up Fight Night on the home for combat sports, OnsideRadio.com.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
If you're looking for a change from the everyday restaurant, then you need to get to Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach. Brats, Wiener Schnitzel, homemade potato pancakes, pretzels with mustard, and lots of German beer. And with daily specials, there is something for everyone. If you're up for a challenge, you should take their famous boot tour. Finish 30 boots of different varieties of German beer, and you'll receive half price on their beer for life. And you'll get to take home your own boot and Checkers Old Munchin t-shirt. They also have outdoor seating available in their new beer garden with live music, as well as carry-out, curbside pickup, and delivery. So, for the finest German food and beer, get over to 2209 East Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano Beach. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Checkers Old Munchin Restaurant, or call them for reservations at 954-785-7565. That's 954-785-7565. We'll see you at Zagat-rated Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
BYB Extreme Fighting presents BYB 6, Friday, July 16th at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood. 10 bare-knuckle brawls in BYB's patented triangle ring, the Trigon. The smallest and most confrontational ring in combat sports. Catch Renee Hialeah Champ Rodriguez against Mad MF Delanois, Christine Knuckles Stanley, and many more bare-knuckle brawlers. Beat Donna 5000. Commentators Mike Goldie Goldberg and Paulie Malignaggi. Friday, July 16th at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. BYB 6.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction, your custom home builder, additions and home remodeling. Our lives have changed. We're making our homes more of an oasis. Call the right place. Call the right people. Eric at EJD Construction for over 16 years. A-rated member of Angie's List in the Better Business Bureau. 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
When protecting your family is your priority, there's nothing more important than the roof above the people you love. At Onside Radio, we recommend Chase Roofing and Contracting. At chaseroofing.com, they care about the customer. Chase Roofing provides reliable roof installation and repair without the destruction to our environment. Chase Roofing is powered by Tamara, who is owner and operated for 18 years. chaseroofing.com is Google top rated and a AAA standing with the Better Business Bureau. Open 24/7. Call them today. Trust chaseroofing.com to fortify and protect what's most important to you, your family.
This Inter Miami CF Minute is brought to you by Stout Bar and Grill in Oakland Park. With over 40 TVs, Stout is the home for soccer around the world and a great place to watch Inter Miami CF. Stout features Clonakilty whiskeys, the world's best Irish whiskey.
Inter Miami and the MLS are currently in a 3-week international break and is set to return on June 19th. Inter Miami will take on DC United yet again, but during this break, some players are being called up, like Jovan Jones, to the Trinidad national team, and some players are also taking a rest. As it stands right now, Miami is currently 2-2-4 in the Eastern Conference. That gives them 8 points, and it puts them on 11th place in the East, while last year they were 1-1-6 at this time, so you have seen a slight improvement despite the terrible performances. Let's see if they can pick it up after the break comes back.
Keep up with the latest on La Rosa Negra by subscribing on most platforms. Search Onside Radio. Let's get back to Kai's Corner. You can send Kai a text at 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm.
All right. Getting set to bring on Alex Dono, of course, the host of the Man of the Match, and also with Fight Night. Dono, you got a busy day today.
I got a really busy day today, man, and it's, crazy. We got that ridiculous Floyd Mayweather-Logan Paul fight coming up locally here on Sunday, so we're going to talk a little bit about that, other, various happenings in the UFC and in boxing. So, yeah, man, I'm going to be strapped in for a very full day today on Onside Radio.
Logan's not going to get knocked out, but it's going to be fun to watch him lose, right?
I wouldn't rule out him getting knocked out.
Okay.
He is going to lose, and it's weird. Like, this fight, it's such a joke that it's not even officially sanctioned by the Florida Boxing Commission because they can't sanction it as a professional boxing match because of the differences in experience and in weight between the fighters. So this is actually an exhibition, and I was reading the other day, Kai, that they're not even allowed to have judges because it's, not a real fight. So they're going to have a referee, obviously, to make sure that, they follow the rules and stay safe as possible. But the reason why I think there's definitely going to be some form of knockout or TKO is if the fight goes the distance, which is 8 3-minute rounds, then they don't even have judges to declare an official winner. So somebody better get a knockout. Otherwise, it's going to be the most anticlimactic thing of all time.
Oh, so this is just going to be a waste of people's money then.
Yes, and they actually have, some decent stuff, I think, on the undercard, like some actual boxing, and they also have Ocho Cinco on the undercard.
I know Ocho Cinco is.
Yeah, but as far as, the main event goes, it's not even a real fight. It's just entertainment. I mean, you got the YouTube empire going up against, Floyd, who's just printing money at this point, taking fights like this. So I'm not saying I won't watch it, because I will watch it, but I'm not that excited about it.
What about the Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley thing? How do you think that that's going to go? I've heard, and I it's perfect that I can ask you, because I've seen a lot of people say that Jake is a better fighter than Logan is. Logan, in both of his fights with KSI, I think you can say that first fight, obviously, you saw that KSI should have won, but of course it's, we're going to do another one in LA, and yeah, whatever, and then KSI wins that one. But it was never really like, you could tell that he was better, like KSI was better than Logan. Logan's just big. But Jake, it seems like people actually are saying, well, Jake can actually fight. What are you expecting out of that fight between him and Woodley?
Yeah, you're right. Jake is a lot better than Logan. Like, Jake actually has some boxing talent, and I think if he, if he focused on it fully, like, he could actually be decent. Now, this one's a really tough one to predict. If this was the Tyron Woodley of about 3 years ago, I'd say Tyron's going to destroy him. Like, it's not even going to be close. And Tyron, obviously, again, he's not a boxer, and it's upsetting to me that Jake Paul is now a professional boxer. Like, he signed a deal with Showtime, which used to mean something. Like, Showtime used to have some integrity, when it comes to promoting pro boxing. Now they've just sold out for ratings and subscriptions. But I guess that's just what they have to do to kind of stay afloat in the landscape. But Tyron Woodley, like, he's an MMA fighter, and he comes from a wrestling background, not a striking background. But up until a few years ago, before he had this precipitous drop from his prime, Tyron was a good puncher. Like Tyron, really heavy hands, good combinations, was knocking opponents out. So he's capable of throwing combinations and hurting someone with his hands. The only thing that makes this so tough to predict is, like, again, if this was the Tyron of a couple of years ago, I would say he's not going to have any problem putting Jake Paul away. But the last handful of times we saw T. Wood in the octagon, the guy is just a shell of his former self. Like, he is just, he doesn't have a chin anymore. He's so kind of inactive and passive with the way he fights. So, and I think the last that I checked, the odds, they opened a couple days ago, Jake Paul was a slight favorite. If I was going to make a wager on the fight, and I might, it's still so long away between now and August 28th, I'd probably put a few dollars on Tyron Woodley, especially if he's still an underdog at that point. But honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if Jake Paul wins this fight, because he can actually throw his hands a little bit, and I just don't know how much gas T. Wood has left in the tank.
Are you, and I guess I don't know if you can speak for James, but are you guys kind of in that area of saying that you really, really want these guys like Jake and Logan to kind of get out of the scene, or do you mind one of them and the other one you don't like?
I mean, I'm not a big fan of either of them, to be honest, but, it's like I kind of, as long as we can sort of separate, what real boxing is versus this whole entertainment thing. Because, listen, if there's a market for it and clearly people are paying for it, I have no problem with promotions like Triller putting on these ridiculous fights. But it does bug me a little bit that Showtime is getting into it, because, like, Showtime used to be like, a real ambassador for the sport of boxing. But,
right.
Just when it comes to, I find, and honestly, I've never watched either of their, like, YouTube videos. I don't really know what their content is about.
Logan's podcast is actually pretty good, but Jake's content sucks. It's all ads. There's actually a video. I'll send it to you if you want to watch it. But there's actually a video that someone did on Jake Paul, and it's literally titled, it's like not suitable for children, because I guess there's a certain law that the FCC has with TV. A certain amount has to be actual cartoons or show. The other half can be ads. And they broke down Jake's videos, and it's like upwards of, I think it's like 70% of his videos is all ads, and then it's like bad content for kids. I have to find it to you, and I'll send it to you. But Logan's podcast is not that bad.
Well, one thing I wanted to ask you, though, like, I don't even know what their target audience is. Is it like
kids.
Teenage boys?
Well, so they both came from Vine. Kids? They both came from Vine, which is like TikTok, essentially, like the old TikTok. So they both came from that era of, like, kind of doing that content, and now you're seeing that new side of things as well, with a lot of TikTokers where they're starting to go into music and YouTube. Some of them very good at it. The other ones just very, very bad, and you just want them to stop doing everything that they're doing. But Logan and Jake came from that era, and they're kind of the only ones that really survived, because everyone else, they just kind of went downhill. Some of them have gone on a little bit of, like, psychotic breaks live on YouTube. It's been a very interesting time.
Yeah, so I mean, listen, I would not lose a second of sleep if I never saw either of them boxing ever again. Like I don't really get the appeal, but listen, they do bring eyes clearly to these pay-per-views that they do. But listen, if Floyd Mayweather was fighting Jake Paul instead of Logan Paul, that would make more sense to me. I'm thinking though that the plan probably is Floyd's going to beat Logan Paul, and then Jake Paul's going to call him out because he already did that thing a couple weeks ago where he stole his hat, and they got into this weird, like, I don't know what to call it, a brawl or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So they're probably angling that after Floyd fights Logan, Floyd's going to fight Jake, and they're just going to steal more people's pay-per-view money.
Yep. And so we're talking with Alex Donno here. I want to get off of the fighting, and I want to get into kind of the Euros. I know we talked about it a little bit, and I asked you yesterday with Italy how you kind of felt with them. We have the Euros, and then on top of that, you finally have a coach announced for your team. Donno, how do you feel with having that guy now for Inter Milan that's going to be the one to steer the ship now that Conte looks like he's going to Spurs?
Yeah, Simone Inzaghi is now the head coach of my beloved Inter Milan. And it's kind of awkward because my pal Jerry, that I host an Italian soccer podcast with, the Calcio Connection, he's a big Lazio supporter, and Simone actually left Lazio to go to Inter. So things got a little awkward between us, and it really helped us step up our content a little bit over the past few days. But from the standpoint of an Inter supporter, obviously it's really impossible for them to truly replace Antonio Conte because he really did an amazing job with that squad. And I thought that, and he did fail miserably in Champions League last year. I will not forget that because I know if I don't say it, people will bring it up. But, around January on in Serie A, they really found their stride, and they were playing Conte ball to perfection. And I thought he had really the perfect squad to implement his tactics. So I'm sorry to see him go, and I think that they're going to take at least a small, if not a moderate step back without Conte. But if you're going to hand it off to anyone, I think Simone Inzaghi was a really good choice because I thought he really overachieved with Lazio for the last 5 years because that's a squad with many just financial challenges. They're not a big club; they're a mediocre-sized club, and so I thought he did a lot with players that weren't great and a budget that was pretty restrictive. And appointing Inzaghi makes a lot of sense because he runs the same formation as Conte, so he runs a 3-5-2. The tactics up front are a little bit different, but the formation is the same. So you already have the personnel to run a 3-5-2 because if you were to bring in a manager that is going to change things up to, a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3, then I think there'd be kind of a rougher transition. But I think the transition could be really smooth because Inzaghi already has a lot of players that fit with that squad.
What do you prefer watching? I know for me, like in terms of formations, I know for me specifically, I really like watching four in the back, kind of having those wing backs pressing up forward, especially with Bayern and watching Alphonso Davies. I mean, he has just been outstanding to watch there at left back. I mean, because really, he's an attacker. He was an attacker with the Vancouver Whitecaps before he moved. That's his main position, and you have to think eventually that he'll go out there and he'll become an attacker eventually. But that's my favorite thing to watch. I like watching four in the back. I don't really like the three in the back kind of situation a lot of coaches go to. What do you prefer watching there?
Yeah, over the last couple of years, I've kind of fallen in love with the 3-5-2, but you need really specific types of players to run it. Like it's because you have to have when you're using three center backs, you need to make sure that your right and your left center back are fast and rangy because a lot of center backs are just not equipped to play at a three in the back because if they're slow, you can get away with being a little bit slow if you're a center back in a four-man defense and you're getting more cover from fullbacks. But if you're a three in the back, you have to have very specific center backs to play it. So three at the back can be suicide for a lot of squads if they try to switch to it, mid-season or in the middle of the game. But I actually really enjoy watching a 3-5-2 because I am a huge fan, Kai, of wingbacks. Like when you have fast wingbacks who cover a lot of ground and overlap, it's why I'm so disappointed from an Inter Milan standpoint that it looks like Achraf Hakimi is most likely to be sold. He could be on his way to PSG because that dude was so fun to watch. I know you watched him a couple years ago in the Bundesliga when he was with Borussia Dortmund. Yep. I mean, the guy is lightning quick and he's got great ball skills. So it's unfortunate to probably lose a guy like that, but he really made watching a 3-5-2 a lot of fun. And when you have a good strike partnership with two at the front, you have someone who can hold up and someone who can, be a little bit more in support. I've actually kind of fallen in love with a 3-5-2. I don't mind 4-2-3-1. I also enjoy that formation because when you have, a good number 10, a good attacking midfielder in support of a striker, that can be a fun formation to watch. I'm not as big of a fan as like a 4-3-3, which is another pretty common formation, but I've actually fallen in love with 3-5-2. I think as long as you have the wing backs to play it, it can be a lot of fun to watch.
Does Italy run 3 or 4 in the back, like usually?
Yeah, the Italian national team they run 4 at the back, so they go they go a 4-3-3. They so it's kind of the standard, 3 midfielders and 2 wingers and a center forward.
Well, I hope that Germany starts to go to that because watching them yesterday, I know Sean had asked me, he's like, you guys drew yesterday. And I was like, yeah, I think they played well. But, I mean, you mentioned there with 3 in the back. You're not going to have Mats Hummels playing a 3 in the back system. Like, he's fantastic at center back. I think he's one of the best center backs you can get right now if you are like in club football. But he's not fast enough to do a 3 in the back system, and neither is Matthias Ginter. So Matthias Ginter. I'm excited for the Euros, but I'm starting to get a little bit stressed. I cannot lie.
Yeah, I'm pumped for the Euros as well. And it's funny, Kai, because I've noticed a lot of people on Twitter, and I don't know what's wrong with them. They're like, for some reason, I'm not that excited for the Euros this summer. Like,
they haven't been watching the U21s, excited. Man. 3 p.m. today.
Yeah, I haven't been watching enough of that. Yeah, I haven't been watching nearly enough U21s. I guess I just haven't had the time. But as far as the senior Euros go, like we had to wait an extra year from this, man. It's got postponed an entire summer, so I'm pumped for it.
Not only that, but then as we get into December next year in Qatar, we'll have the 2022 World Cup. So you're getting back-to-back tournaments instead of having to wait that year. You're just getting one summer tournament, the next summer tournament. But hopefully, I think they'll be good, and I'm sure that me, you, Austin, will all be talking about it here throughout the rest of June. Donald, thanks so much for coming on, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. And by the way, I see some. I'm on I-95 now. I see some black clouds here, so I'm blaming you if it rains on me. I know you're doing rain dances up there.
I hope not, because I have to drive somewhere here pretty soon, and I don't want to have that happen. But Dono, hopefully it doesn't rain while you're on I-95 and you can get here safely, man.
Thanks, man.
Every Saturday at 11 a.m., soccer fans can connect with Austin Robillard and Red Card Radio from the Premiership to the MLS. Catch up with your favorite team, including our very own Inter Miami CF. Listen to Red Card Radio every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. with Austin Robillard exclusively at OnsideRadio.com.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
When you want a perfectly straight smile without braces, you can count on MoodyAsDental.com. A stunning smile is within reach. Learn more about Invisalign. Find out why so many trust the Moody Ass family. Dr. Moody Ass is an inventor and has several patents on innovative surgical instruments that are used around the world. Experience a family environment and trust on a worldwide level. From implants to crowns to a beautiful Invisalign smile. Call 305-821-0231. That's 305-821-0231. Or go to the website at MoodyAsDental.com.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Miami Lakes location at 15462 Northwest 77th Court, located in the Ryan Oaks Plaza. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
WLESPN. We've got all your sports.
We're live and local.
If you wake up early enough.
You're so bad, honey.
Tune us in. As long as you're not under a bridge.
Or under any power line.
Ain't it awful?
South Florida's choice for sports talk. OnsideRadio.com.
Hey, it's Toast. Last year when I had PGT custom windows and doors installed in my house by B&T Windows and Doors, I knew about the hurricane protection. What I didn't know? The silence. Oh my goodness, my house is so quiet now. One of those cars goes tearing down the street with the crazy loud muffler. Yeah, I don't hear it anymore. It's unbelievable. I didn't realize how noisy my house was beforehand. You've got to get PGT Custom Windows and Doors installed in your pad today. Call B&T Windows and Doors, 954-233-0126. That's 954-233-0126.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
When you're looking to add that extra style and protection for your home or business, visit a shade above Window Fashions in Davie or Sunrise, where plantation shutters are a major part of our business, and they look great in any home. We have them in white, stained colors, and wood tones. We can even motorize your shutters like the one in the OnSideRadio.com studio. A shade above Window Fashions, 954-434-4774. That's 954-434-4774. Love the space you live in. A shade above Window Fashions.
Keeping you informed in the world of sports. With an OnSideRadio.com sports update.
The Toronto Blue Jays, they used a three-run ninth inning to come back and beat the Miami Marlins 6-5 last night. Yimi Garcia picked up the loss. The Fish head to Pittsburgh for a 4-game series over the weekend with the Pirates. Eliezer Hernandez will get the start tonight. The Philadelphia 76ers, they moved on to the second round of the playoffs with a 129-112 victory over the Wizards. Trae Young and the Hawks took a bow and eliminated the New York Knicks with a 103-89 win. The Utah Jazz, they took care of the Memphis Grizzlies 126-110 as they move on to the next round. The Dallas Mavericks, they took a 3-2 lead in their series with the Los Angeles Clippers, 105-100. And tonight, the Denver Nuggets, they look to close out the Trailblazers. Tip-off at 8 p.m. And at 10:30, the Phoenix Suns look to eliminate the defending bubble fraud NBA champion LA Lakers. We'll see what time LeBron storms off the court tonight. And in men's basketball news, Duke University announced yesterday Coach K, he will retire after 41 seasons at the end of the 2021-2022 season. 12 Final Fours and 5 championships for Coach K. You're listening to the only locally owned South Florida sports talk station. Of course, you're listening to OnSideRadio.com.
Let's get back to Kai's Corner. You can send Kai a text at 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm.
I feel like I'm a robot on repeat. Every single time it comes back in, it's like 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Now here's Kai Chen Chisholm. I'm like a robot now. Getting used to it.
You're a samurai.
I am a samurai. You know, I've never yet encountered someone, thankfully, that has, like today's day and age, Sean, like where people get a little bit choosy about things, if you catch my drift. I've yet to find someone who's been like, why is your name Samurai? You're appropriating Japanese culture, even though, Japanese and all. But I have yet to get that, so it's been pretty cool. I've yet to really get a lot of bad stuff, so it's been actually kind of cool to be able to be, Kai, and be able to be myself. And then a reminder for everyone else that forgot, last Saturday I was scoring in a Champions League final. I mean, it was me. My name is Kai. I mean, now I not Kai Havertz. I'm Kai Chen Chisholm, but hey, it's still Kai. Scored in a Champions League final. Now, was it for Bayern Munich? No, so it kind of sucks. It was for Chelsea, but it is what it is. Anyways, we round out hour number 2 here. Sean, there's a picture going around now of Dan Campbell And if you haven't seen it yet, I'm going to send it to you so that you can go ahead and see it. He's wearing a helmet while in a press conference, and we knew of all this stuff with Dan Campbell, right? When he was the tight ends coach here, and then he was the interim head coach. What do you make of Motor City Dan Campbell, as they try to call him now?
How can you not want to play for that coach? I mean, really, honestly. I mean, I get it. Maybe the Oklahoma drills you don't want to be doing. But
he said that never happened.
The man comes in wanting to bite kneecaps, wearing football helmets. I mean, if you're in the media, you love this guy because you know there's going to be a story coming out of any time he talks.
Every day. How long do you think it takes before the Ford family fires him? Or do you think he'll be successful?
I mean, that team, I don't know. I don't believe in the Detroit Lions no matter what, man. I don't know why.
They're cursed. You think it's because they never paid Barry Sanders and they're not paying Calvin Johnson that they're cursed? Like the football gods are just saying, no, screw you.
I don't know. I don't know whether it's the football gods per se, but you got to look at it and say, okay, once guys get drafted there, most of them don't want to stay there. They don't want to stay there or they retire. I mean, that's
literally what Calvin Johnson did.
Think about it. Calvin Johnson, Barry Sanders, they basically retired to get away from the organization.
Calvin Johnson retired and started a weed company. And here he is, thriving, Hall of Famer. Like, he just said, Detroit, I'm good.
No, it's just not. You look at what they bring and what they build around you. That's why I don't know that Campbell's going to be, successful, because I don't believe what they're going to put around him. You can only coach so much. You can only coach so much.
Put some kneecaps around him.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe get a lion. That's another conversation.
He does. He wants to walk a lion around the field there. You jump off sides, you answer to the lion. I like that idea.
You think it would work?
Oh.
Have a lion on a leash?
Could you imagine the NFLPA going after Dan Campbell? You cannot stick a lineman in with a lion.
Dude, imagine you're just sitting there and you're at home and you're like, oh, what game's on? Oh, Detroit against the Packers. Oh, that'll be cool. Let's watch Jordan Love in his debut because obviously, Aaron Rodgers isn't going to be a Packer anymore, most likely. And you just see Dan Campbell standing on the sidelines. He's got a leash in one hand. You're like, what's this dude got a leash for? Like, isn't he the head coach? You just see a lion. They pan
even
to the
better.
lion.
The smoke goes off, and here comes Campbell running through with the lion, leading the team out to the field.
It'd have to be a baby cub, right?
No, man.
You want a full-fledged,
it's got to be a lion, a full mane, everything.
Oh,
yes.
Man. But they have to go with, you're guessing then they go with the male lion then, because if you want the full mane, you got to go with like Simba from the Lion King.
Yes.
You want that lion.
If you're go big, you come out with a cub. What the cub going to get out there to the 50-yard line and be like, meow, meow?
Yeah.
Please.
Or what if you start how
you're
it
trying
is
to
with
bite
the Lion
kneecaps
King.
and you coming out with a cub?
Listen,
on, man.
But again, look, you see, this is a perfect example. You start with Simba. Remember, Simba was a lion. He was a cub. And then he grew up to be the Lion King.
Listen, Dan Campbell don't have that long of a leash, okay? To have some cub grow up and become the full lion. 3 years in cartoons.
Let's see. How long does a cub take to become a lion? How long does a lion cub take to grow?
That's not even going to be
3 years. 3 years.
He ain't got 3 years, man. If he ain't winning in the next couple of years, he's fired.
You don't think 3? They get hunting skills.
They won't even fire him. They'll just be like Dan Campbell came up missing because they fed him to the lion as he grew up.
It'll be like, what's his name? Oh, my God. That came out last year. The Lion King or whatever. What was it? Tiger King. Oh, my God.
Oh, Joe Exotic?
Yeah.
Oh, that's my hero.
Did you like that show?
Oh, dude, it's a train wreck. It's perfect.
It's one of the coolest things.
Just the stupidest TV ever, and it's so good.
I remember when it came out. It was like, all right, well, we're here at work. There's nothing for us to do. So we'll just watch it. We'll start watching it. And we thought, we're going to watch it for maybe like one half of an episode and we'll get bored. And we were sitting there like, you better not watch it until we come back to work on Monday. You better not watch it until we're all back together on Thursday. It was like, do not watch this episode.
That would be the other thing. If they get on Hard Knocks and he's got the lion.
He's got a lion just sitting
Campbell
there.
with the lion on Hard Knocks, the football helmet. Oh,
that'd be so funny.
You can't write better TV than that.
It would be so funny. Hard Knocks in general, I think is just hilarious because obviously it's fake, but I just think it would be, I don't know, that would be hilarious if they really got him some Lion Cub. Give him like 2 years, then he becomes bigger, and then he'll go away to some other place, just like Dan Campbell's career would if the Lions are bad. It'll be okay. Anyways, we're getting ready to round out hour number 2 here, and then get into the crosstalk here with Big O, where we'll talk about who knows what, but a lot of good things is usually what comes out of that. Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. Catch Sean Stanley as he hosts Square Circle Digest. Now, wrestling fans have a place to call home as Sean covers the very colorful world of wrestling. Tune every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. on the home for sports fans worldwide, OnsideRadio.com.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
When you're looking for curtains and blinds to create a space of your own, look no further than Bandalux. Bandalux can tailor your space to your needs. Create the atmosphere and ambiance you desire. We invite you to discover it at Bandalux.com. Explore our new solar control systems, range of sustainable fabrics, and energy-efficient solutions that can improve your well-being and quality of life. Witness Bandalux Beauty. Go to Bandalux.com or follow them on Instagram at Bandalux_official. For a personal experience, A Shade Above Window Fashions in Davie and Sunrise is an official Bandalux partner.
If you're looking for a change from the everyday restaurant, then you need to get to Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach. Brats, Wiener Schnitzel, homemade potato pancakes, pretzels with mustard, and lots of German beer. Take their famous Boot Tour Challenge, and there's now outdoor seating available in their new beer garden with live music. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Checkers Old Munchin Restaurant or call them for reservations or pickup at 954-785-7565. So get over to 2209 East Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano Beach to Zagat-rated Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction, your custom home builder, additions and home remodeling. Our lives have changed. We're making our homes more of an oasis. Call the right place. Call the right people. Eric at EJD Construction for over 16 years. A-rated member of Angie's List in the Better Business Bureau. 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Inter Miami CF fans, join us at our new home this season for all away games as we broadcast live at Dangerous Minds Brewing Company, 1901 North Federal Highway in Pompano Beach. Join Big O and Alex Dono for the live pregame, halftime, and postgame shows while we watch the games. Enjoy meticulously brewed beer on site, delicious artisanal pizzas, live music, and giveaways. So, the new home for all Inter Miami road games is at Dangerous Minds Brewing Company at the Pompano City Mall, where they'll feature all the Inter Miami games. Follow them on Twitter at Dangerous Minds B and Facebook and Instagram at Dangerous Minds Brewing, and visit them at dangerousmindsbrewing.com.
Every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., listen to Red Card Radio with Austin Robillard, brought to you by Stout Bar and Grill in Oakland Park. With over 40 TVs, Stout is the home for soccer around the world. Stout Bar features Clonakilty whiskeys, the world's best Irish whiskey.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Now that it's springtime, it's only getting hotter here in South Florida. Make sure your AC in your home or business is running smoothly by investing in a preventative maintenance plan from M&S Air Conditioning. And M&S is a Mitsubishi Diamond Elite contractor. When you purchase a new Mitsubishi electric mini split system, you'll get a 12-year warranty. Or install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that captures and destroys biological contaminants to improve air quality. M&S Air Conditioning have been providing prompt, honest, and reliable service for over 30 years. Schedule service or call to get more info on our preventative maintenance plans. Call 954-421-3680 or visit ac-florida.com.
Let's get back to Kai's Corner. You can send Kai a text at 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm.
All right, get ready to round out the show, round out hour 2, and bring in Big O. How's it going, O?
Loving life, baby.
That's good.
Loving life. What can I tell you? I'm getting ready to rock here with Alex for the next couple of hours and talk about all kinds of things going on in sports and have some fun. Feeling good. Watching crypto bounce back super strong. Like I told everybody to hodl and stay strong.
Hold the line.
Everything, yeah, bro. Hold the line. You can't wussy out on this stuff. You know, you gotta stay strong. So all is well in my world, man.
That's good.
So I can't complain. You had a solid 2 hours.
Yeah, everything going good. And, you know, you mentioned it. It's like finding things to be able to discuss and have some time talking about. So it's
you noticed that most everybody went with Melvin Ingram and not Malik Hooker.
Yeah. Listen, I'm fine. I'll be the
rusher,
one.
Bro.
No, I know.
Pass rusher. Get after the
I'll die on my hill for
You're playing against Josh Allen in this division. You want to get after the quarterback.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You need to get after. And then the Patriots, you want to get after the quarterback, whether it's Cam or if the youngster goes back
Mac's
there.
not going to really be running.
Yeah, but Cam's going to run around. So you want guys that
can
go after the quarterback. You know what I mean? And so I saw your poll. I voted on Melvin Ingram.
Everyone, of course.
Yeah, I just think it's you can't have enough pass rushers. Man.
I think I'm just the one where I look at Malik Hooker and just kind of what he can bring to the future if he's healthy, and he's just so.
But once
good.
they drafted the kid, it's over.
I know.
Once they drafted the kid, Malik's not a strong safety. He's a free. The kid you drafted is a free.
Yeah.
You know, and then you have other guys like McCourty that can be either his backup or can also play corner. So I think they've already kind of thought it out. I don't think Hooker's there. So I saw your poll, and I wasn't surprised that Ingram was. I don't know what the latest is, but he was dominating.
It's like 90% to 10. I wasn't surprised either.
Pass rusher, man.
Yeah. I thought there was maybe a little bit that might have said just because of how much Malik Hooker was interacting with the fans.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a chance that there was going to be a little bit there, but I figured that mostly it was going to be a lot of going out there and having a bias towards getting in a guy like Melvin Ingram instead of getting in a guy like Malik Hooker. And it also just comes down to the fact of it's like, I think, and I mentioned it with Alfredo, this is the second or third time that the Dolphins have tried to get Melvin Ingram in general. And it's like at some point you have to figure maybe is this a time where they actually sign? He was here for 3 days.
Yeah, and Ingram was here, and Ingram's working out with our guys and everything. And so, but it shows you how nobody's in a hurry. There's not a lot of money out there. They're probably asking for too much.
Well, that's why I mentioned to you yesterday. Like the Dolphins are in a weird situation when it comes to money, just because they still have their guys that they need to sign that they drafted, and they could be asking for like $3 or $4 million. You're not going to.
And their salaries aren't going to be much. Their salaries are going to be somewhere a little bit over the minimum, and the rest will be incentives. Is what they'll do.
But then it
give
just
them $1.5 million for $2 million,
that.
and then right. But I mean, nobody's out there going to give you a $5-10 million contract. You just forget about it now. You know what I mean? And
some silly teams. There's a potential if one guy goes down.
Right. It has to be desperation. It has to set in. And right now,
Like
nobody's
Clowney,
in
that's a little
camp.
bit of-
Nobody's lost anybody, so no desperation has set in yet.
Not even the Broncos. I mean, they lose
No.
a tackle, and they're just like, all right.
Yeah.
Like Morgan
Yeah.
Moses is still out there, and he could be a guy that they could go out and grab, and it would be beneficial for them. He'd play a lot
I
better
think
than
Morgan.
Jawan James
I think
did.
Morgan Moses is a solid player, dude.
Oh, he would do much better than Jawan would have given them over
James,
that contract.
yeah,
anyways.
he was a
So-
better player than Jawan James.
Yeah, for sure.
A more consistent player than Jawan
Well, 'cause
James.
Jawan
not
was-
as injury prone or anything like Jawan James. Jawan James, unfortunately, has suffered several injuries throughout his career, man. So yeah, it's interesting. It is interesting how we can talk football year round, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. And then more football, the beautiful game coming around. I've been trying to encourage as much people. June is like huge. I mean, Copa America, Gold Cup, Nations League, and
That's why
the
we're
Euros.
off. We're off for a
man.
couple of weeks now with Inter because we've got the Gold Cup here in the stadium. That's
gonna
going to
be
be a lot of fun, man. To have that kind of atmosphere here in the stadium, that's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
When you have football at that level, I mean, I remember I went to Colombia versus Venezuela a few years
It's a
ago.
blast.
And that was in Hard Rock, and that was awesome. It was absolutely awesome. But hopefully you have a great show.
They're kicking you out, apparently.
Yeah, of course. So hopefully you have a great show. You're listening to the only locally owned sports station in South Florida. You're listening to OnsideRadio.com.
We'll be right back to the Big O Show. You can join us on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. BYB